just look at the inside of these cookies. Good morning, lovely people of the internet. Welcome back to the Maverick Baking kitchen and welcome back to another recipe video. Today we are recreating something that I've wanted to taste for a long time. Recently I recreated the Momofuku milk bar cake. I will link that up here. Basically because I'd always wanted to try it, and New York is literally thousands of miles away and I've never had the chance to. So today we're doing something similar. Today we're making the Levain Bakery giant chocolate chip cookies. And when I say giant, I mean giant. These cookies went viral all over Facebook and YouTube and all kinds of stuff. I think either a year or two ago. People of New York will have known about these for years, but the rest of the world only kind of got a look into the world of the Levain Bakery very recently. Essentially, these guys are making ginormous cookies. I'll put up some pictures on the screen for you just now. They're huge. They would serve 3 people, unless you're like me and you're greedy. They're expensive because they're so big. These things are serious. They're literally heavy. And today we're going to be making them and taste testing them. So to make these ginormous Levain Bakery inspired cookies, I kind of took some influences from a few different recipes. I worked into my own kind of Maverick Baking version, and today I want to share it with you. For a link to full ingredients and instructions, there will be a link to my blog Maverick Baking in the description box below that you can check out. In the meantime, let me show you how I made these ginormous Levain Bakery inspired cookies. Okie dokie, so to start off these ginormous cookies, we have a combination of butter, brown sugar and white sugar in this bowl. And I just kind of beat these together until they were combined. Nothing too fluffy because I wanted these cookies to stay dense and chewy, so we don't want too much air in the mixture. Once you've combined those, you're going to add an egg, and that's what I did very slowly, apparently. And then I just kind of beat these together again until it was smooth and combined. Nothing too fluffy, nothing too ridiculous or painful on the arm, just until they were mixed together. So then you're going to throw in another egg and just do the same again. And once everything is all combined between the butter, the sugar and the eggs, you're going to add 1 metric buttload of flour. I added this amount of flour just because I knew the cookies needed to be nice and thick. I also added some corn flour to keep them nice and soft, and a little bit of bicarbonate of soda and salt. And then I gave myself a real good arm workout by stirring all this into a super thick cement-like cookie dough. Then I added some chopped nuts. Now, the original recipe uses walnuts, but I only had pecans, and personally I prefer pecans anyway, so that's what we're using. So then I stirred all the pecans into the dough. Once they were stirred in, I threw in a whole load of chocolate chips. Now, I used dark, but you can use white, milk, whatever you want. Then I gave myself a real good arm workout by stirring it into this super thick, super dense cookie dough. Then I chilled this for about 12 hours and then I baked 8 huge cookies with it. So you've seen how they were made, and honestly, I'm still shocked at how big these are. I can't believe that quantity of dough only made 8 cookies. That quantity of dough would normally make something like 20 to 25, and even they would be large. These things are like the size of newborn babies. Like, it's ridiculous, and they are so heavy. The interesting thing for me when making these cookies was that apparently the Levain Bakery don't use any vanilla extract, which is very unusual in a chocolate chip cookie. And all the recipes I've seen didn't chill the dough. I always chill my cookie dough both for texture and flavor, so we'll see if that, was right to do or was wrong to do. And we'll see whether these are worthy of being such ridiculous viral content, or if these are really just giant overrated cookies. Let's taste one. Now, these cookies are still a little bit warm from the oven, so the chocolate chips in the middle should still be nice and melty. As you can see, they are bigger than my actual hand and most of the size of my large face. So I'm very impressed. I love that they use kind of old school chocolate chips instead of big chocolate chunks. I think it just looks really classic. I love the big rustic shape. Just look at this thing. It's enormous, but it's beautiful. Look how thick it is. It's ridiculous. So because of the high temperature and quick baking time, I'm predicting a crispy outside, but a really kind of soft, doughy inside. I'm so excited. Are you guys ready for the food porn shot? Just look at the inside of these cookies. They are so thick and doughy. Those chocolate chips are just melting. That looks insane. Let's take a bite of the Levain inspired chocolate chip cookie. Here we go. Wow. It's a homemade chocolate chip cookie. It was never going to be bad. It's warm, it's gooey, you can see all those chocolate chips are gorgeously melty and they are all over my fingers and probably my face. I really like the texture contrast. The outside is really kind of lovely and crunchy, it's crisp, which means that you almost appreciate that doughy center even more. These are just baked in the middle, just. So they're not kind of super doughy or super claggy or kind of sickly. They just kind of taste like warm cookie. The size is obviously ridiculous. This is a portion for 2 people and there's a lot of chocolate in here, as in the original recipe. Even though traditionally the recipe uses walnuts, the pecans add a great flavor, as I'm sure the walnuts probably would as well. And they add a nice kind of extra crunchy texture in the middle to stop it from being too doughy. But I miss the vanilla extract, I'm not gonna lie. You know, they're sweet, they're buttery, they're doughy, and the overwhelming flavor is chocolate. And it just feels like it needs something just to round it off, you know, a little bit, even if it was some brown butter, or a bit more salt or some vanilla. I don't know, personally, if I was to make these again, I would add the vanilla because the taste of proper good vanilla bean extract is so, so delicious, even if it's just a very faint hint. So while I would say they're missing that, they're pretty good. You know, I understand the novelty. The kind of exciting thing about these cookies is how enormous they are. At the end of the day, the flavor is never going to be anything more than a decent bakery chocolate chip cookie, you know? I feel like when we made the Milk Bar birthday cake, for example, that was layers upon layers of mixing flavors and it was creative, it was new. This is almost, even though they taste good, and obviously these aren't the actual Levain Bakery cookies, I feel like the appeal with these is just the sheer size and the glutton and the indulgence of it rather than it being anything new or innovative. So, you know, while they are delicious, they're not worth $6 or $7 in my opinion, or £5.25, however much it would equate over here. No way. There isn't that much craftsmanship in it, and there is good flavor, but not wow flavor. If you love chocolate chip cookies and you want to make something crazy, as I said, I've left a link in the description box below to my blog where you can get the full recipe for these cookies, which I've made using all the kind of different Levain inspired recipes I've seen all over the internet. And you know what, they might blow your mind. If you're a super huge cookie fan, you might love these because they are great and I'm obviously going to enjoy eating them. I just don't think they're worth the huge kind of viral hype that they've had. But in saying that, it's still a cookie. If you guys enjoyed this video and you'd like to see more kind of experimental recipe videos like this, or trying other bakery or restaurants baked goods, let me know in the comments below because I have a lot of fun trying these out and obviously eating the results. If you haven't already, don't forget to slam that like button and hit the subscribe button so that you don't miss a single recipe, review, vlog, whatever it is I'm doing. It usually involves putting food in my face though. In the meantime, that's all I have for you today, guys. I've got to go tidy up some mess and eat some more cookies. See you next time.